record?
Recording
All right.
progress.
Okay, recording in process. All right, welcome everyone. So it has been a while since our last class meeting. I hope you are well. And I noticed that the problem of COVID-19 is becoming a little bit more serious in Taiwan. So please take good care. Okay. So this is a really bad news, I guess, to all of us. I mean, even for students in Hong Kong, because you know that, I mean, Taiwan is actually a very popular tourist place that I mean, all Hong Kong people are actually longing for. But anyway, again, please take care, and hopefully in the coming year, in the coming academic year, we will be able to meet face to face. Anyway, what we're going to do today, I guess you are pretty clear about that, is that we're going to have our presentation. I actually have prepared a very simple PowerPoint slides for today. Okay, so just want to lay down some ground rules before we move on. Can you see my share screen? Can you see my share screen? Is it the correct screen that I should show you?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great, okay. So this is the final class, and of course, I mean, the first thing that you need to know is the sequence for today, okay? So this is the sequence. So don't ask me how this sequence is determined, okay? So this is done through some kind of not really that, how should I call it? But you know, anyway, so this is done through some kind of mechanism that you are not care, that you don't really care, right?
It is a sophisticated statistical process from Excel.
Sophisticated, kind of, okay, I guess. But well, I mean, I guess this is the sequence. So we're going to follow the sequence. And as you know, we are going to have a 10 minutes presentation, around 10 minutes. I know that some of you actually express some kind of worry that we will not be able to finish it in 10 minutes, but still, because of time constraint, I will really want you to try to follow the guideline here. So around 10 minutes will be nice. Okay. So then after your presentation, I would like to have around 5 minutes for Q&A. And for Q&A, I don't mean that, I mean, Dolaju or myself will be asking a lot of questions in that 5 minutes. No, I really want you guys to have some kind of exchange. Okay, so please ask your friends questions. And I will actually mark down your contribution to this Q&A section, especially for CHK students, you know it. Okay, and after that, after all the presentation, I would like to remind you a little bit more about the virtual symposium that we are going to have. Oh, sorry. The virtual symposium that we are going to have in early June, okay, in 2 weeks. About the time, about a little bit more details, so on and so forth. And I would like you guys to complete an online survey as well. Okay, so this is part of the course requirement, compulsory for the completion of the course. Okay, so that's basically the plan that I have for today. So I have some kind of echo here. But anyway, so stop sharing. So let me pass the time to the presenting group. So, wait.
Actually, Jingming, please turn off your mic.
So we will have the presentation from NCYU Team 2. Mary. You ready? By the way, I just want to remind you, I just want to remind all of you that the presentation today will be recorded. Okay, but you know, just for your information, don't worry, I'm not going to, betray you guys and post your presentation online. Don't worry. Okay, so let me pass the time to Mary and your team.
Okay. Okay, does everyone can look my screen right now? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary. I'm from National Jai University. My group members are Annie, Ariel, and Vicky. Today, I'm going to share with you the responsible business in Taiwan, Hetai. And our presentation will be classified for 3 parts. The first one is Hetai introduction, and the second one is Hetai CSR, and the last one is Hetai future perspective. So first, let me share with you the Hetai Motor, this company. Hetai was founded by Lie Huohuang, this president. As you can see this picture. It was established in 1947, and Hetai is under the brand name of Toyota, Lexus, and Hino. It is not just sells the small size vehicles, but also sells large scale vehicles. And its registered capital is around 200 million. It is one of the largest financial holding companies in Taiwan. During the epidemic in 2020, its operating revenue is up to 5 billion. And the next is Hetai business scope. Hetai's main business is car dealer. As you can see in this picture, Hetai also engaged in car rental, second-hand car dealer, car loan, car manufacturer, car appliance, taxi, and insurances. And the corporate philosophy of Hetai is taken from the community, given back to society. It means Hetai is not just engaged in public welfare issue, but also they are caring for CSR. So they established a corporate social responsibility committee. So later, I will share with you the 4 cores of CSR in Hetai. They are social care, environmental protection, youth training, and traffic safety. So the first one of the Hetai CSR is social care. Social care has 4 different aspects in Hetai. They are car donation, Children Are Us Foundation, recycling toys, and volunteer leave respectively. So for the internal part, Hetai will provide their employee a volunteer leave, and its time period is 1 day a year. In addition, Hetai will hold the good volunteer activities. They want to encourage their employees to contribute to the society. For the external part, the first one is car donation. As you can see in this picture, the Hetai would donate, they will build their donation cars by themselves. And until now, they have already donated 11 blood donation cars. And in every car, they included an advanced device in it. In addition, they would have a month of blood donation. In this month, Hetai will encourage their employees to donate their blood for the people who need. And for the next part is Children Are Us Foundation. It is an organization to provide an opportunity to the children who is intellectual development disorders. So Hetai will purchase the pastry from this organization. Until now, they have already purchased 1.2 billion. And in addition, in the packaging process, Hetai will encourage their employee to be a volunteer to help to package the pastry. Moreover, they would provide the vehicles like this picture shows. This vehicle, they will provide this vehicle to assist the sheltered workshop. And the next one is recycling toys. Until now, they have recycled 207 tons second-hand toys. And during these activities, they have already donated 32.6 thousand registration fees to the charity. For the environmental part, they have already reduced carbon emission as a car travel around Taiwan for about 2,000 times. For the carbon absorption, they are same as 53,000 trees. So in the next part of CSR, I will share with you the environmental protection in Hetai. And Hetai holds an activity called One Car, One Tree since 2007. And it means when you buy a new car from Hetai, they will plant a tree for you in coastal zone in Taiwan. Because right now in Taiwan, the rate of retrograding shoreline, it is ranging from 3 to 20 meters every year. So by these activities, Hetai have already planted over 300,000 trees during 2007 to 2019. and they have already reduced 4,300 tons of carbon emissions, and the planted area has reached 122 hectares. For the second part is recycled parts. After recycling the parts, Hetai will repair or replace the damaged parts and offer to customers with a discount price to be eco-friendly. And the third part is solar energy. Because one of the Hetai's medium-term goals is to reduce carbon dioxide by 32% by 2030. As you can see in this picture on the right-hand side, Hetai built lots of solar panels on the roof to replace the non-renewable energy. And the power generated by solar energy systems in 2019 equals they have reducing 2,400 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. So they plan to build 14 new solar energy systems in their company in 2020. So for the third part of the CSR is youth training. Hetai has lots of academic exchange activities to stimulate creativity and independent thinking of the youth. So they hold lots of activities. For the first one called Charity Dreamer. It is a charity proposal implementation competition which combines CSR with USR. USR means University Social Responsibility. And the second one is Elite Training Camp. It is a 2-day camp just for college students. And its course design are both theoretical and practical, such as Toyota value and brand management and so on. In addition, they could let the children have to visit the factory on site. For the third part is painting competition. It is a competition which has the international standard because they want to develop children's artistic and creative abilities. So Hetai encouraged the children to paint their dream car in their life. And the last part of youth training is technical education program. It means to donate high-tech teaching aids and teaching materials for automobiles to the high school. So Hetai wants to cultivate automotive repair talents of the high school students. And the last part of CSR is traffic safety. Hetai have already donated 85,000 sets of safety vests to the primary school in Taiwan, and more than 10,000 volunteers have benefited. As you can see in this bar chart, it is the donation of safety vests from 2011 to 2019. In addition, Hetai have already held lots of traffic safety storytelling, and more than 320,000 students have participated because Hetai wants to let this concept to be rooted in the children's mind and also want to reduce the car accidents. So for the next part of our presentation, I will share with you the future perspective of Hetai. Based on the environmental protection I mentioned before, Hetai would do more deeply in the environmental part and then use all of their resources on their economic strategies, such as the iRent and Yosi. iRent means car sharing and Yosi means your taxi. Based on these two systems in Hetai, Hetai could achieve their goal, mobility as a service in the future. In addition, they could follow the trend even over the trend of shared economy. So based on these two systems, Hetai could get their competitive advantage to compete with other enterprises. So in conclusion, based on the information we get from Hetai, Hetai could combine their CSR with their relationship of the car business to be their business model. So this is the end of our presentation. Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's very comprehensive. So I would like to open the floor to you guys. So whoever has question, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question. Anyone?
Hi. May I ask question?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm Sandra from CUHK Group 2. I wonder that does Hetai, this company, has any innovation created by this company independently that shows that it have social impact towards the industry or towards society?
You means they did they do any other things to contribute to the society?
Yeah, I mean the independent innovation.
Independent innovation.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share with you our presentation about youth training. Because such as the youth training, they do lots of innovation parts. Because just like the painting competition, because this competition is only one of the international standard competition in Taiwan, and just Hetai do this. So other companies such as other car distributors, they don't do this kind of competition just for children. So they do this competition and make the competition to connect with the children and make children have this concept to plan their dream car and to they can know more about Hetai, not just maybe their parents buy a car. So children can know Hetai's business, Hetai's how do Hetai's do like this one. So one of the innovation part they do in youth training is painting competition.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Mary. Is it Mary?
Yes.
Hi, this is Carol from the CHK.
Carol.
Very interesting. Thank you for your presentations because our next presentation is going to introduce Toyota, which is quite closely linked to your Hetai company. But what I'm interested is that what aspect of this company most inspired you to make you so desperately want to present this company in terms of the CSR strategies? Because there are many car manufacturing or dealers companies that are very good at or spending so many money on their sustainability aspect. So what impressed you the most?
Okay. Because I would say why we choose Hetai this company, because most of Taiwanese people will choose they will buy the car from Hetai, because Toyota in Taiwan, the market share is very high. So also the ranking of the CSR in Hetai is very high in 2020, because in 2019 Hetai's CSR ranking just about 20, but in 2020 they have reached to number 8. So the ranking is also our consideration, one of our consideration. And the second consideration is about most of Taiwanese people will buy the car from Hetai because Toyota, Lexus, and Hino. Yeah. So this is one of the reasons we will choose from Hetai. Yeah.
Hi, Mary.
Okay, good to learn about the Taiwanese market. Thank you.
Taiwanese market, yeah.
Hi, Mary. This is Calvin from CHK. I have a question. My question is whether the global pandemic has any negative impacts on Heitai's achievement of social responsibilities and social innovation.
Excuse me, could you say your questions again?
Oh, sorry. I'm wondering whether the global pandemic has any negative impacts on the Heitai's achievement of social responsibilities.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me share with you our presentation about this one. Okay, because all of us will know the epidemic in 2020 is very serious in the whole world, right? But in Hetai, there is this other things about that, because just as Taiwan as example, because people right now they are afraid to maybe take the public transportation, they were afraid to maybe meet other people. So they would like to buy a car just for themselves, and they could just drive their own car and not to maybe to take the MRT or take the bus. So they were afraid that. So in 2020, Hetai's operating revenue will be very high, other than the 2019 or 2018. Yeah. So the impact of epidemic is not impacted Hetai very much. However, they could do lots of they could have lots of other strategies, such as iRent and Yosi I mentioned in my presentation. This car sharing and taxi service, they could do more deeply about that and to make their become their competitive advantage to compete with other companies in Taiwan.
Yeah, that's a quite surprising answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So any other question from both CUHK and SYU?
It seems to me that other teammates are quite quiet. I mean, is there anything that you want to share, other teammates?
Okay, my teammates.
Right. Annie, for example. Okay, I know that Annie is in the team, right?
I want to share one more. Can you guys hear me?
Sure, Vicky.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Vicky. I want to say more about the last question. Is why Hetai could higher their revenue more than the past? Is because due to the pandemic, as we say, we don't like to have a connection with other people. So we would think that maybe the car will sell really bad. However, the Hetai higher their revenue. One of the main factor is they improve their online skill. Like they have a system to take their customers to see the car in the online, and they don't have to. It's a main factor to them to higher their revenue. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice. I have a quick question. So Mary actually mentioned quite a lot about what Hetai is doing. I mean, in terms of mainly, I guess, in terms of CSR, corporate social responsibility. But there's actually one question in my mind. Which of these initiatives that you mentioned are more related to the core business of Hetai itself, and how these kind of initiative is going to help Hetai's business to grow further? I mean, I'm asking this question because we are not only focusing on the CSR on how a company can contribute to society. I mean that is of course very important, but not only that. I mean, we would like to explore the possibilities of, say, creating shared value. I mean, how the company can benefit itself and at the same time contribute to community. I mean, in the initiatives that you mentioned, for instance, I mean, which one do you think is having direct impact on Hetai's business? Anyone in the group? I mean, it may not always be Mary.
Hello, Secretary.
Yes.
You mean directly impact the Hetai business, right?
Right, or indirectly. I mean, if you think that the effect here is significant.
Oh, okay. So when it comes to direct impact, I would say the presentation, the last presentation I say, iRent and Yosi, these two systems in Hetai right now, they could use these two resources to maybe achieve their mobility as a service goal and shared economy. So this is the direct impact we think. And If you say the indirect impact, we will say the one car, one tree, these activities. Because one car, one tree is a new activities in Hetai because it was held in 2017. Yeah, 2017. So for right now, it just held for 4 years. And because the concept of this activity is very innovative, because when you buy a new car from Hetai, they will plant a tree for you in coastal zone to provide to protect the environment in Taiwan. So Hetai will do not just the maybe Iron Yossi, this kind of car business. They also do lots of things for environment. So one car, one tree, just one example. So we think they are not just a car distributor in Taiwan. They are also do lots of things to care about the environment and to make all of the people in Taiwan know the company not just the car, not just sells car. They also do lots of things to in the environment, in the social, to help all of the people, not just maybe the customer. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this is a way for the company to build the company image and enhance the reputation, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you for
let me further
sure.
on the question on this one. Basically, on the one car, one tree, the Hetai make it explicitly to the customer that when they buy a car, there will be one tree that is planted in their name, basically.
Yes.
Are they doing this so that they will make sure that the customer know about it?
Yeah, customer will know that.
Okay, do they even give a name for the tree? So they will say that, okay, this tree is under this guy's name. Do they really do this kind of thing, or they just, okay, this is okay, you buy this car, so there will be one tree that is planted.
The name of tree from.
No, what I mean is just like some charity, they will do something like that when you you give a charity offer to the organization. Then they will say that, okay, this tree or this stuff is produced in your name, something like that, right? So in this situation, in this case, Hetai, do they plant a tree in the name of the customer, or they just, okay, you buy a car, so and according to the sales record we sold 5 cars, so we planted 5 trees.
Okay, let me.
So which model are they using?
Let me pass my teammate Ariel to say this things like that.
Hi. The customer can just search on the website they built, and you just put in your ID, and you can find where is your tree or what is your tree's name or something like that.
Okay. So that means that each customer will have a particular tree that is his or hers.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So I guess it helps a lot, I mean, in building up the awareness of the program, I mean, and, establish some kind of personal touch on this. Okay. All right. So let's stop here for the first presentation. Okay. So here comes the second one. Okay. Thank you, Doris.
So we can start now?
Yeah, you can start now. I am going to take the time.
Okay. Very strict rules. Okay. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. This is Carol, and our teammate Doris and Sandra will be happy in the next 10 minutes sharing with you all about the sustainability efforts of Toyota Motor Corporations in a strategic point of view, to see how they have made what efforts they have made to create a better world as a global corporate citizens. Toyota Motor was founded by Mr. Toyota in 1947, now a Fortune 500 motor vehicle manufacturer with a history of 18 years. Companies put sustainability in their heart and embodied in their VNV that listed here. Their global vision in line to their VNV and also serve as a good strategic direction in guiding their daily operations. For example, you can see the ever better car that is the fruit of this tree would help them to work on technology enhancement, and while the whole enriching lives of communities guide them how to invest the community. And we will further discuss how they realize these wishes through different initiatives. Their sustainability efforts are surrounded by three key pillars, which are environment, traffic safety, and education. As a car manufacturer, there is no surprise that if they spend so many money and efforts in the areas of environmental or traffic safety. However, you may see in the chart at the bottom, Toyota spent even more on the society and culture, as well as education in the financial year 2019. Then why the distribution is just like that? We think that it's because of their major theme of their sustainable efforts. They make good use of complicated supply chain by bringing them all together and create a better world for the future generations. Overall speaking, Toyota's efforts aligned to the bottom line. In terms of financial, they achieved long-term and sustainable growth for their shareholders. They set a policy to keep ample of liquidity to support at least half-year basic operations. They also invest lots of startup and R&D for supporting future growth. Toyota collaborate with their supply chain, of course, including Hotei, and their staff to improve the overall wellness of the society. They make use of their partners' efforts in supply chain and also carry out robust control on their suppliers and regulations and a regular examination on product safety. For example, they work with the local partners in developed HelpNet system, which would help to contact emergency services when incident is detected. They also spare no efforts in investing the future through education. We think it's a smart way for them to introduce a fuel cell vehicle course to children. It not only helps building the awareness in the environmental protection, but also the immersive experience provided would help them to grow with their future customers and guarantee a sustainable growth. They also offer the on-site visit for overseas dealers and also export the knowledge to them so that they can support their business and growth together. In the next slide, our teammates will further discuss their efforts in terms of environmental investment.
In the area of environment, Toyota has a comprehensive action plan system. In 2015, the year when the Paris Agreement was adopted as COP21, Toyota announced the Toyota Environmental Challenge 2050, which aims to achieve zero CO2 emissions using electrified vehicles and renewable energy, and a net positive environmental impact, and to realize the CDGs through it. In order to achieve the challenge, in 2018, Toyota set the 2030 milestone and set the 2025 target last year. And on the right side are the key aims to achieve in 2030, which will need support from stakeholders such as suppliers, energy providers, infrastructure developers, governments, and customers. And the new 5-year action plan makes the 6th challenge more detailed, sets a specific target in each area, such as logistics, suppliers, dealers, air quality, and so on, which can help to meet the challenge. Compared to industry peers, Toyota excels in addressing emissions and fuel efficiency. Toyota pioneered the world's first mass-produced hybrid vehicles and reached the substantially better CO2 emissions from new vehicles than regulatory standards and the best levels in the industry. A study found that
Toyota full-size SUV models are the longest-lasting vehicles. And next, Sandra will introduce the information about stakeholders.
Okay, talking about Toyota stakeholders, let's first have a look at who they are. Employees who aim for a satisfactory workplace are always the most significant group for Toyota, and then followed by customers as a second priority position. Shareholders or investors enjoying financial profits, and with business partners, there is a long-term cooperation. Other wider groups include local communities and global society, with whom Toyota should coexist harmoniously on the basis of socio-economic, cultural, and environmental development. To benefit these stakeholders, here are the actions taken by Toyota. Improved business resilience over rapid expansion is a guarantee for investors. For employees, besides reasonable wages, program like on-the-job and training course of management and techniques can help them in career paths. Customers' benefit could be achieved by Toyota's product with high quality and innovation, which I will go through later. Social programs about education and support shows responsibility towards communities. For partners, fair and free competition is a key point to maintain Toyota's management. In addition, huge donations and environmental conservation is a sign of global benefits. The social innovation of Toyota can be observed by its advanced technology. Working with research institutes and relevant organizations, this company invests a lot to promote new materials for emission-free and carbon-neutral vehicles. Important topics also include battery testing, AI-driven, and materials in simulation. Innovative safety technology like total human model for safety also improved life-saving configurations in the whole mobile society. Besides these innovations that have great social impact, what I want to mention is the brand new vehicle innovated by Toyota this year, which is called Mirai. The smart and convenient design make it possible to refuel by hydrogen and oxygen in the air. With this chemical reaction, there is no need to consume gasoline and no carbon dioxide is produced, which is environmental friendly to a large extent. Based on previous analysis, we may see Toyota with significant sustainability in many aspects, like brand building, benefit for various groups, advanced product innovation, and responsibility for the whole society. But there are also challenges to this company. Our group mate Doris will elaborate on it.
First, in financial part, the price of oil generally continues to increase over time, and competition in automobile industry has grown quite intense, and more options are becoming available for short-term vehicle use or ride sharing, and such as bicycle, trains, buses are also available. They are always cost less and sometimes are more environmental friendly. And motor vehicles are one of the largest contributors to green gas emissions. Toyota primarily operates in Japan, and which is the highest earthquake-prone region in the world. It could severely influence the production output. And in social part, motor vehicles production fell sharply because of travel restriction measures and an overall decline in economic activity due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But those threats can also be opportunities. AI and digital technology have brought great new opportunity for the vehicle brands in terms of marketing and supply chain management, and Toyota can use them to engage its suppliers and customers. And ROE and ROA of the brands fell as compared to the last year. This shows somewhat poor allocation of resources. Toyota can make better of it. And a significant job in the automobile market's performance. And most Toyota's business is in the automobile industry. Toyota can diversify its business. For example, the company can invest more in developing public transportations like buses and cooperate with governments or companies in the area of sharing economy.
And in the Asian market, Toyota's position compared to its competitors is weaker. While China has grown to become the leading vehicle market of the world, India is also growing fast. Investing in marketing and customer engagement in this market will bring superior results. And that's all for our presentation. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you. Very comprehensive one. I just want to stop you, by the way. Okay. Questions from the floor?
May I ask this question?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm Jai from the NCYU.
By the way,
I want to
Jia
ask,
Yu, we cannot really see you. Is your cam on?
yes.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So it says that social and culture and also education, Toyota puts a lot of attention in that part. So what is the act of the company that shows they have put a lot of attention in there? Like kind
Can you
of
read?
their action.
You mean what exactly they have done for the education part,
Yes.
right? Oh,
Yes, and also the
Doris,
social and culture.
Sure. Doris, can you show us the slide again on the social part? Thank you. The upper slide. Yeah, page 8. Thank you. Next slide. Yes. Actually, I have to explain a bit about the overall strategy of Toyota, because Toyota Motor is a I think it's a MNC. So they actually have many offshoots over the world. One of the key activities is to launch the vehicle course that I have introduced before, and the Mirai car that explained that by my teammates is an extension of their CSR strategies. Mirai itself is a testimony of Toyota sustainability efforts. Is an educational car themselves. And another key initiative that made by them is the Forest of Toyota. They have built quite, I don't remember, 4 to 5 forests over the world. That is actually just like a classroom, a natural classroom for showing the children or showing to the visitors the importance of protecting our environment that they have provided, that they have showcased through the Forest of Toyota. So I cannot let you know what the major flagship activities they have launched in terms of education, because but these two are quite a significant part they have done for this, because the expenditure I've shown before is the global expenses. They have encouraged many stakeholders, shareholders, or supply chain to work on these together. Yes, hope this answers your questions.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Amy from NCYU. And I want to ask, do you think Toyota's strategy in 2015 is feasible to decrease their carbon dioxide emission?
Can you ask your question again?
Do you think their strategy in 2050 is feasible?
Oh, you mean is it feasible for them to achieve this, right?
Feasible, right? Okay.
Okay.
Actually, they have set the 2025 target and 2030 milestones to achieve the 2050 challenge. They want to achieve the zero CO2 emissions, and now because MIA has complete the zero emissions now, and Toyota wants to promote it and in Japan. And now I don't remember the specific digit, but they have promoted a lot more, I remember. And now let me find my presentation. And now they have complete 22% compared to 2010 levels. So I think this is possible.
And I want to say that Toyota also have some programs like Together Green program to support a network of environmental conservation. So even though there is a big challenge to achieve the real target, but Toyota has really made some holistic efforts on the towards the social innovation, and their contribution is glad to see. Yeah.
Thank you. Because of time constraint, I can allow for only one more question. Is there any quick question to the team? No? All right, so then we will proceed to the third presentation. Thank you very much. The third one now. Feel free to go.
Hello?
Yes, Jiayu?
Yeah. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Today our group will present about the corporation. Oh. Okay, sorry. So good afternoon, everyone. Today our group will present about the corporation CSR report. Before that, I'll introduce our team. So we have Seng Kai, Yuqing, Jingling, and then Jingming, and then me, Jiayu. And today I and Jingming will present this presentation. So as you can see here, we have the Uniting Business and Government to Recover Better statement. This statement is backed by the United Nations Global Compact and the Science-Based Target Initiatives. And nowadays, we all know that environmental issues are endless and are likely to continue to grow. At the same time, we are now facing a global pandemic and has some negative impact and also putting progress on the sustainable development goals in question. And one of the companies that signed this UN-backed statement is Dormakaba. And so here, So here today I'll briefly introduce about the company, and then I'll also how do they do their CSR, and also wait a minute, I think I don't put as full screen. Okay, sorry for the problem. So today I'll briefly introduce the company and then how they do their CSR, which are the include products, transparency, process and production, the people, then lastly the conclusion. Okay, so firstly about the company. So dormakaba is one of the top 3 companies for the access control and security solution in the global market. Originally, this company is the merger of 2 different companies, which is Dorma and Kaba, and both has known for their expertise in the area of smart and secure access solution. And this company had more than 150 years of experience with 15,000 employees worldwide, and has also representative in over 130 countries, and they had stock listed in SIX Swiss Exchange. dormakaba has also many products like electronic access and data, door hardware, entrance system, safe flow, key system, and else. And also in 2019, they also awarded a gold medal by the EcoVadis. And this is a gold medal for sustainability. And the company itself is in the top 5% of all access company worldwide. So then we're back to about the environmental problem again. So besides signing the UN statement, dormakaba also has something called supplier code of conduct. So this supplier code of conduct, this thing is have a one important point in this code, which is called environmental responsibility. The first one is the hazardous substance management and restrictions. So the supplier shall prohibit or restrict the use of handling of specific substance, for example, toxic gas like chlorine, and they also need to ensure safe handling, movement, storage, recycling, reuse, and disposal. Then the second one is about waste management. So they need to manage and dispose of non-hazardous waste generated from their operation. So overall, the supplier shall minimize environmental pollution and make continuous improvement in the environmental protection. So then, how do dormakaba do the CSR? So mainly the company is focused on these 4 aspects. So the first one, I'll be explaining about their products. So dormakaba pays attention to its product design. Each step in their design development stage requires close collaboration between their engineers and products. The producers. And this life cycle approach is integrated into the company's product design. It covers resource, production, distribution to use, and waste or recycling. And then for the transparency, basically there are 3 main points. The first one is the fair competition and anti-corruption. So dormakaba is committed to being a global partner who can provide a sense of security and trust to the customers. Illegal business practice will not only create legal problem for them, but also give the public a sense of distrust. Therefore, dormakaba sees healthy competition as their most solid foundation for business growth. Then the second point is about the human rights assessment. Currently, the public has also begun to pay attention to how some companies respect human rights issues. Therefore, the dormakaba also follows the principle of human rights and social responsibility as they're outlined in the United Nations Guiding Principle on Business and Human Rights. And the third point is the supplier social and environmental assessment. So dormakaba hopes that the supplier will also do the same in paying attention to environmental, social, human rights, and business ethics. So dormakaba also selects suppliers by conducting a series of strict assessment and audits. And so the next slide will be presented by my friend Jingming.
Jimmy, your slide is working properly, but you have mute yourself.
Is there everyone can hear me?
Yes, yes, it's working now.
Okay. Sorry for muting myself.
No problem.
Okay, next I'm going to talk about how dormakaba do to fulfill their target on another two-filed process and people. In purpose optimization, I'm going to divide it into three parts: energy and emission, water and effluent, and third is waste. We can see that all the energy and emission is renewable resources ranging from around 25 to 40%. And on the energy usage, we can see in America, their plants increase 50% efficiency for resistance welding equipment. In China, they replace new air ducts to save 756,000 kilowatt of energy a year. As a comparison, one air conditioner working 1 year is about 18,000 kilowatt more. In Australia, they're changing their vehicle from fuel to electricity. It will reduce fuel usage 27% and carbon emissions 33%. On water reuse and saving. First, we should know Tomakaba's company make the locker and the door. The most material they use is glasses and steel. Both of these material have to smelt and secondary processing, so it uses water a lot. So for this, we can see in China. In China, they replace new air duct to save. Okay, we can see in China, Taiwan, and India. Where's my mouse? China, India, and Taiwan, they reduced the total water usage by 10% by changing the old pipeline in the plant. And in America, they established a plant to handle the effluent water, making sure that the water they pull out will not damage the environment seriously. On the waste, manufacturers in Switzerland have developed electronic data security cards to replace paper copies for customers who order and replace keys. Before these improvements, they used to send the ID card and security code separately. According to the report we get, this policy saves 3 tons of paper and 300 kilograms of plastic per year. In Asia, they invest additional equipment to reduce electroplastic sludge disposal by 40%. It's about 300 tons per year. It's really a big thing either. Okay, it's all about the process optimization. Now that we talk about the second one, people. We will take this file into 2 parts. One is labor union. One is fringe benefit. Before we talk about what they did before, here is data. In 2019, Taiwan have just 50% corporation have labor union. Bosses in Taiwan really don't like the labor union. they will say that they want a higher salary and they will contest. So I think if the company really do a good job on the labor union, it's really a special things. Dormakaba encourage labor union growing in their company. They will ensure that everywhere should have their own labor union, even in subsidiary company. They not only ensure having labor union, but also have regular meeting. Yeah, regular meeting with the union representative. Make sure every employee can make their statement. Second, they try to meet everyone's need, especially employees. In these 2 years, COVID-19 outbreak around the world, they even provide door-to-door pickup program to protect employees' health in China. They start to provide summer camp for children from 2016 during summer vacation in China. Here comes to the conclusion. We all know that the scope of CSR is very wide and is difficult to continue. So it is hard for the company to complete it by itself. Therefore, the government must assist on the side to make CSR more successful. Quoting our visit to the chairman of Dormakaba's Taiwan subsidiary, Teng Li Menkong, CSR is a long-term activity. The governments of various regions also need to support and cooperate to create a better future and pass on this beautiful cycle of goodness. This is all of our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jingming. Thank you, the team. Questions from the floor?
Before proceed, Jimmy, can you log off your other device? I think there's echo from your other device. So because you're logged on to your account, so it may be better if you log off from one of them.
Oh, I think I muted that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's better now. Okay. Questions from the floor?
Hello, this is Sandra speaking. I think this company you have chosen is very novel to me. And may I ask about the process of optimization this part? You showed a lot of good performance in waste saving and pollution reduction. But what I wonder is that how do you achieve these results? I mean, by what means this company can have this good performance? Because I think I can only see the good results, but for example, you can say some examples like equipment or technologies this company have used to promote this process. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for your accent, but I think it's a little bit, I cannot really answer you because I'm not really good at how you do that. We can know more about the maybe waste. Waste, yes. I would say that the electromagnetic sludge disposal is maybe one of the ways. Another like energy, water, just they used more efficient machine, so it can become better. So what they do it additional, they do additional to buy the machine for handle the electromagnetic sludge disposal. It's things we call in Chinese, we call 电镀污泥. I'm not really know that. If you want to ask, you want to know how they handle this kind of things.
Oh yes, maybe I will check by myself. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Here is Doris, and I wonder, you said they did a good job in Labor United, but I wonder whether there are some maybe human rights laws they obey or other, they care for their healthy or education or any job they did in concrete.
Let me check that. You want to know that how they do the labor union on education?
Yeah, I wonder there are any concrete jobs they did.
Isn't 玉婷，这个部分我不太清楚，你要不要回答一下？
Doris, can you repeat your question? Sorry.
I wonder whether there are any concrete jobs they did, or maybe they follow some human rights basic laws or something.
So you mean like what kind of work they have done in something like is related to the human
and other initiatives?
Oh, okay, so let me help to answer this. So actually, there is a lot of human rights things they done. Actually, there's some of them is like what to get relate to the United Nations. So let me see. Maybe I can share my screen. Focus area and human access. Okay, hold on. So here. So because Dormakaba is committed to focus the human rights, so they have a lot of things that they use in here. So there's a child labor that they do in China, and then they're also like, actually there's some example also in the suppliers. So they also choose a suppliers that is also do the same in the human rights one, for example, like so the first one is example is like the program that they done in China, like what Chiming explained. And the second one, I think is more like they choose the supply for them is based on the supply code of conduct, and the supply of conduct is like to help them to understand a mutual one with the supplier, between the company and the supplier, and they hope that the supplier also do the same in the human rights. So I think by choosing a right supplier also help them into done a human rights things, and also like in for the fair labor condition and also in child labors.
Yeah, because you said it's difficult to do in Taiwan, so I don't know what they did some unique shops to achieve that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, if for some additional information that we may add is like, actually we have go to their branch of the company in Taiwan. Their name is Tengli Meng, and when we interviewed the company said they wish they done more in Taiwan, but the government doesn't give them enough subsidy, so they only can do less. So there's nothing, I think there's not more they can do in Taiwan about the humans' rights assessment because there's no subsidies for that. I mean, it's less, not much.
All right, thank you. One more very quick question. Anyone? All right, so then let's stop here and proceed to the final presentation. All right, thank you.
So let me start with our presentation. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to start our presentation talking about Tencent, CSV, and CSR, and some related information. Are you all guys get ready? So next slide, please. First of all, let's have a look at Tencent's corporate vision and mission. Values for users, tech for good. Not hard to understand why Tencent puts so much emphasis on users and technology in its products and services. Then, building a quality internet, please, next slide. Yeah, continue, next slide. Yeah. Then building a quality internet ecosystem by utilizing its core capability is one of Tencent's CSR. Two instant messaging platform, the inner circle, you can see here, with innumerous strong relationship user base going through other corresponding functions, the outside circle, to address diverse social needs. Next slide, please. Generally speaking, actually, next slide, please. Yeah. Generally speaking, internet ecosystem is just like a one-stop platform which can satisfy users' almost needs with little cost, bring the social impact of digital lifestyle, which improve people's life quality a lot. For enterprise, large user base can create a tremendous data, assisting to do more accurate marketing research as well as promotion. Mini programs and e-payments can help the enterprise to collect users' feedback and reduce transaction cost, increase profit, and create new commercial opportunities for investors. Next slide, please. Apart from advanced technology, Tencent also has created many handy services like the health call, which plays a crucial role in fighting the COVID-19 for people and governments, protect user data, crack down on cyber crimes in internet security aspects, as well as a series of measures to support sustainable development of our society. Next slide, please. Moreover, Tencent also made a significant contribution on sharpening our technology competitiveness by its Tencent Cloud and Tencent University, providing most advanced techniques and software with low cost, assisting enterprise to save more time and more money in building software and hardware, helping them to maximize their profits. Tencent University actually provide lots of free, high-quality open courses and competition, aiming to improve public skills in many aspects. Now I will pass the time to Charlene. Charlene, please.
Thank you, Jack. So I would like to add more point on question 1 to 3. First of all, there are 5 aspects that Tencent is focusing on the CSR. It's the social, ecology, economic, the public services, and the culture. And they are serving the 4 target groups. They are the government, industry, users, as well as the employee. For example, they are focusing on the cultural aspect. They were having the Digital Palace Museum in a 2016, as well as the Great Wall Conversational Project. For the social aspect, they are aimed to nurturing the new technology talents. For example, they will set up some prize to award the young technology specialists as well as the scientists. For the charitable contribution, they have developed a digital platform for the charity, for example, to connect the user, the public, the organization, as well as the enterprise to provide a
mix and match platform for the general public. For the economic, they aim to create a safe internet environment, for example, to protect the student from overusing the internet, as well as using to protect the data in the China. And they also aim to build a global open source technology community. For the environment, they are setting for the bar for the low carbon operation. For example, they build some smart green buildings. For example, the buildings are the new headquarters in Shenzhen, as well as they also aim to save energy and reduce some costs with their green data center. And they did some garbaging sorting. Also, they are aimed to help with the marine life. For example, they did have some innovative initiatives to save the ocean with the technology they are familiar with, for example, the AR or the AI. Also, they aims to protect the wildlife, such as using the QQ or the Weixin to raise the public awareness. Also, they promote and develop the new scheme for the AI for the FEW, the food and energy and the water.
Now I would like to answer the fourth question. What is the corporation's approach to social innovation? Tencent has two major approaches to make social innovations. First, it makes full use of talents from Tencent and general public. In the Tencent headquarters, the same task is given to many research and development groups. These groups use their ingenuity and creativity to compete with each other. Finally, the group with the best innovation will win the investment. Tencent also tries to make social innovations with the help of the society and the general public. Tencent established several Tencent Stars in China and welcomes talents in the society to conceive new ideas and projects. The most innovative ideas and projects will be funded and become part of Tencent, and as a reward for the society at last. At the same time, Tencent also creates more job opportunities to the general public through such Tencent Stars. Second approach is to follow the trend of time. When mobile phones become more prevalent, Tencent shifted its focus from the communication application called QQ to another one called WeChat. The primary reason is that QQ is computer-based according to its original design, and WeChat is set for mobile phones. Tencent's shift from the boom, following the boom of mobile phones contributes to its popularity and social innovations. Therefore, the two recommendations derived from Tencent is to make full use of talents from the company and the general public, as well as to follow the trend of time.
And next, I will talk about the challenges which Tencent face when delivering its responsibilities. Firstly, Tencent may face the concern of cost control. Reinventing the wheel is always Tencent's mode of production, which is a double-edged sword. The basic techniques must be done again when developing new software every time. It is also regarded as the key to success. However, starting the process from scratch requires a lot of costs, especially time and money. For instance, and just see the photo, and the wheel is always developed through 5 types only. And people, they do not think about how to improve the latest version, just like the fifth version, and which can save a lot of unnecessary costs. On the other hand, the techniques of production are also difficult to share with other departments. It may cause the waste of costs, which can affect them to promote the development of society. And moreover, Tencent also face management difficulties. Due to the decrease of their stock price in recent years, more and more employees are eager for change. Since approximately 7% of directors are under 30 and 30 years old. They indicate that the companies should bring in young talents in order to have more new ideas. However, it does not represent that the above idea is the key to overcoming the difficulties. It also depends on how Tencent uses the young talents to keep its strength. It may take some time to get results. And next, I will hand over to Haley to talk about how Tencent increased its social impact by promoting its vision on social responsibility.
Hi, so I will talk about the vision again on social responsibility first to refresh your memories. So the first vision would be to enhance user value in every aspect of its operations. And the second one would be to leverage technology towards creating an ethical and sustainable society. So I would like to talk about how the development of the social impact that the company has created. Though I will, due to the time limits, so I will just talk about the one significant one, which is the poverty alleviation and rural vitalization. We can divide the development into 4 stages. The first one will be the stage of explore that the company has contributed monetary and in-kind donations, but it's only money-based, so it's not like social innovation, but just create to show that their social responsibility. And the second stage will be the stage of experiments that the company promotes the development of new villages through initiatives covering cultural conservation, education, and e-commerce. And the later stage will be more mature. The company has connected the internet-based charity ecosystem using signature campaigns such as Giving Day, and the latest day will be Restart. The company applying its expertise with the consumer and industrial internet to help villages enhance education, healthcare, cultural tourism, agricultural, e-commerce, and other sectors. You can see that through its development, the company has turned their business model into more, instead of money driven, but they can generate revenue through create social impact to the people in need. So I will show you one case study of the poverty side. The company has actually helped reduce poverty in a remote area through games. The first approach is that they hire more than 100 local team members, and they will hire about 200 this year, and they direct game flows to shopping platform that they sell their local food and farm product through live streaming. And the third one would be they outsource their game design work to local partners till they know their where the feel of the sign and the scene of the sign. So actually the talents there can either go to work for Tencent or they can just outsource to the local partners. And the last one will be they promote tourism, that they inject the local scenes into their games, like the architecture or the nature. So that will be a approach that they can generate money through the games, but actually when they generate money, they're helping their local to get money and to get job. So this is the end of our presentation. Would there be any questions?
Just want to stop you, Haley, you know. All right. Sorry, question from the floor.
Any question?
Hi, I have a side question. This is Carol. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Yes. Have your team come up in any parts regarding the government control in terms of the monopoly situation in China? Because Chinese government is trying to control the industry development or in a good way that facilitating their development, especially in the IT or the SaaS industry. Why I'm asking this, because if Tencent have deal with these issues so that they can keep their growth in a sustainable way. Have you come up with this kind of observations or findings on this matter?
I would say that of course there would be government control for the company. There is such a large company in technology science and as AAS, but actually when you observe the development of tension between 2018 to 2021, there are 30 times that the company share price was up 4% and more than 4% while the price was below 15 MA. So you can see that although there may be some restraint on the company from the governance but in 2021, this situation happened twice already. So you can see that the company has actually doing well, and I believe that they will continue to make social impact through generating money with its flourishing and thriving atmosphere.
Other questions? Dorothy, do you have any question for the team?
Well, actually, I have a question on the Carol's question. How important it is for companies that have the monopoly power to conduct CSR? Because, as we know, if they don't do anything, they can still get the market share. So, what's the benefit for them to do the CSR? And what do you think is their philosophy behind engaging in CSR?
I think it's more like to a low bottom to the top approach. Of course, if they don't focus on the CSR part, they can still get a large market share. But if they focus on the bottom side, they focus on the CSR part, and they can expand their technology power, expand their influence in some remote area or some not less developed area, they can be the first one to get the market share on that part when the parts become more flourishing or the market there become more thriving. Of course, there is I would say that is a financial incentive, but indeed they do some good to that area. So on the other hand, of course, they can develop a better brand image for the company. And any other good mates that would like to share about their thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to add one more point on the last point you mentioned. I think it's also important to keep good reputation among the general public so that the users will be willing to like fill in their personal information to the company, and also to give the information, to trust the company as well. I think it's very important.
Yes, because they have to keep themselves aligned with the government policy and their government vision. As President Xi just announced a few years ago that in the, I forgot which 5-year plan or something else, that they wish not to have poverty families anymore, poor families anymore in the next 10 years in my memory. So it's just important for them to keep themselves aligned with the government vision as well.
Thank you. Any other question? I guess we can entertain one more. Anyone? No? All right, so then let's stop here. Thank you very much for the team. Let me go back to my slides. All right, okay. Of course, we probably do not have time to, offer comments for each of the individual team today. Okay, we probably can do it a little bit later, probably through email. And but still, I mean, my general impression for you guys' presentations is that, I mean, on one hand, I mean, you guys have done a pretty great job, I mean, in trying to document the CSR initiatives done by different companies. I mean, that is really nice. On the other hand, I would also say that you can talk a little bit more about how these kind of CSR initiatives are related to their core business. Again, of course, I'm not saying that all kind of initiatives that they're doing are closely related to their core business. I think not. But then again, I mean, when you read that the project guidelines that have been given to you guys, I mean, on one hand, of course, we will want to see, I mean, what the companies are doing. On the other hand, however, we also want to see, I mean, how the companies are trying to leverage on these kind of initiatives to further improve their competitive advantage in the market. And I think this is something really, really important, especially for business students. There is actually a huge difference in terms of corporate philanthropy. I mean, doing good, okay, and the idea of CSV, I guess. I mean, creating shared value. You probably know the difference. I just want you to explore a little bit more in your analysis on your project. But then again, I mean, perhaps we can actually touch on this a little bit later. And just want to tell you a little bit more about the arrangement for the symposium and whatsoever. Remember, our virtual symposium will be in the 8th of June. That's 2 weeks later. That's 2 weeks later. Okay. Tuesday, same time, right? 4:30 to 6:15. And then you are going to do your presentation, right? And because of the time constraint, we would like you to trim down your presentation even more. I know that, I mean, you have, struggled a lot, I mean, when preparing for your presentation, because 10 minutes is actually pretty short, and you have a lot of things to cover. And this time, I mean, even more challenging, 6 minutes. And the time is actually quite tight, actually, for the symposium. I don't want the symposium to, overrun. And an award will be given to the best performing team. I mean, basically all the faculty members who actually discussed the cases with you earlier will come to the symposium. So they will be the judges. They will be the panel judges. And so they will listen to your presentation, and they will give you some grades, and they will be picking the best performing team. Right, the best performing team will be given some kind of award, right, as a token of appreciation. Of course, I mean, do not expect to have $10,000, that kind of stuff. I mean, not possible. And in the symposium, we are going to have a guest presentation, even though we haven't really secured the guest yet, okay, because of some kind of hiccups in the middle. And at the same time, we will have a very short, very quick panel discussion among the experts. And hopefully, I mean, you can actually learn some additional insights from the panel discussion. As I've mentioned, there is a final piece of homework for you. I mean, other than the symposium, other than the project presentation that you have finished, don't worry. I mean, this is just a very simple online way. I would like to get your feedback on the design of this course. I mean, you probably know, again, I mean, this is some kind of new initiative that we try. For example, it's the first time that we put together, I mean, students in Hong Kong, students from Taiwan together in the same virtual classroom. And what do you think about this kind of arrangement? I mean, it's also perhaps the first time for us to have this kind of, quite a number of guest lectures led by professors from different places in the world. Or what do you think about these kind of arrangement? I would also ask you to reflect on your experience as well. I mean, from this online way, but I will keep it short. I mean, don't worry. Remember, this is compulsory, especially for CHK students. I mean, this is compulsory for the completion of the course. So if you don't really complete it on time, you will have a fail in the course, and I don't want it to happen. Okay, and I'm going to send you the link I'm going to send you the link very soon through email. So please read your email. Okay. Is there anything to add, Ju?
Well, not really. Basically, I think that's one point I want to make is about the presentation. I think all of you have did a very good job on collecting information and doing the presentation. Actually, that's full of information. But the thing is, on the slide, don't fill with information, because if you fill with information and you don't talk about them, people will feel weird, right? I've noticed that a lot of you have a slide, and because of time constraints, so you just have the top, you have the title, and then you have a whole bunch of paragraph over there, and then you just talk about certain thing, maybe stated on the slide for maybe a couple seconds, and then flip to the end of the slide. It may be weird for the audience, so try to refrain from putting all the information on one slide. Because I know that when we first started to prepare our slide, basically we want to present all the information because we don't want to waste any kind of information that we get. But we really need to refrain from that, because it's not really a lecture, it's a presentation. It's not like the education slides that we have for your class, because the purpose of that slide is to teach you, and we hope that you can, just looking from the slide, you learn something. But on a presentation, it's not the same. It's just like, for example, when you look at the TED Talk, you will see that they only, maybe some of the people, they don't even have one slide, or some of the presenter, they may have 2 or 3 slides for 20 minutes, because they want other people to listen to the information. They don't want the other people to read the information, okay? So maybe try to arrange your information so that your slide will not be filled of information, because some of them, especially when we're talking about the number, we are so tempted to put a number over there, so that we think that the number, for example, how many percentage of the carbon dioxide they save, we think that those are very important things for the audience, but actually for audience, the number doesn't mean anything. For them, they just need to know that, okay, it's significant. That's it. Okay. So try to refrain from that. And the other thing is, I noticed that a lot of the student, when you put the monetary term, you use renminbi, or you use Hong Kong dollar, something like that. But for presentation, if you are doing presentation for other peoples from other countries, I think it's a convention to put the your local amount and then have a parenthesis with the US dollar, so that people will have a sense, because a lot of people, they don't know, okay, if you say the 1 billion renminbi is it a lot or not? Okay, because for example, if you are familiar with won, if you're going to South Korean, 100,000 doesn't mean anything, right? So if you have the US dollar, people will have a sense on whether it's significant or not. Okay, so it's just a short comment on that. I think Dr. Koo will share more of his experience with you guys later on. Okay.
All right, thank you. I hope you all enjoy the process, and obviously, I mean, the idea of responsible business is actually a very, very important terms right now. You guys must have heard of, you know, a lot of terms, I mean, related to this kind of idea. For example, I mean, there's actually a new course offered in CUHK master program called Sustainable Finance. This is completely new to the business school. I mean, you guys must have, you know, come across terms like ESG, whatever kind of green investment whatsoever when you're doing your research. You can see how important, I mean, these kind of concepts become, or how popular at the very least these kind of concepts are, you know, it's actually prevailing right now. And I hope this course actually opens up some kind of horizon to you, even though obviously this is not a complete journey to these kind of stuff, not at all, but at least it opens the door for you. Okay, I hope you enjoy the process. Before you go, I would like you to turn on your camera, all of you, and then we can take some class photos. I mean, even though I didn't really tell you, I've been taking a lot of photos, I mean, screenshots when you're doing your presentation. I mean, I'm going to share the photos with you, okay, a little bit later, because I have to, you know, pick some good photos. But then, I mean, the class photo is for everyone. So turn on your camera, make yourself ready, and give me some time, by the way. You know, take some screenshots. Okay, we're going to take several. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Look at the camera, by the way. I mean, don't look at your computer monitor. Look at the camera. 1, 2, 3, go. One more. 1, 2, 3, go. Great. Okay, I'm going to share with you the class photos. Thank you very much for coming, and I wish you have a good time, right? And please remember to prepare for the virtual symposium. I'm going to we are going to send you guys a little bit more details as well. Thank you very much. By the way, Kelvin So, would you please stay behind? Just want to have a quick chat with you. Thank you, everyone. We'll be in touch. Bye.
Bye.